Hi, this is Jack. This is going to be my bar by bar review of the S&P 500 futures contract for December 20th, Friday, 2024. The first bar of the day is a small gap down. Yesterday was a bear trending trading range day, and we have a small gap down that's reversing up above the low of a prior day here. We also have a big whole round number, 5,900, that could be support. It looks like the gap down is being rejected, but we have a prominent tail on the top of this bar that tells me that we're probably going to form some sort of trading range. Bar 2, bit of a surprise, good for the bulls. I'm going to fix my scaling real quick. Bar 2, probably clearly always in long at this point, but still in an overall bearish environment. And we're reversing down, closing below yesterday's low. We tested the low, and I suspect we're going to have to find out what's above that low. And we may need to pull back before we do. Bar 2 is a bit of a climactic bar, and for that reason I expect a pullback. Bar 3 is a bear inside bar, closing near its low, but tail tells you that there may be buyers below. We don't have a micro gap between 1 and 3, and for that reason, the bulls are not as strong as they could be, and that reduces the chances that we'll rally above the high of 2 before we pull back more. So bar 3 probably going a little bit lower, but probably buyers below for a second leg up for the rally since 1. Small pullback and then another sell-off on 4 and bear bar, closing below the open of the day, but hesitating around a prior low of the day. We also have the whole round number, 5,900, not far below, so probably buyers down here somewhere. Overall, it's a tight trading range and better to wait. We reversed up, forming a new low of day below 1, and 5 is a strong bull reversal bar with a prominent tail. I suspect we're going to go higher. I think the bears are strong, but clearly they're not as strong as they could be. There's no gap between the low of 3 and the high of 5. And for that reason, we're in a trading range, and there may not be any trapped traders. So I expect buyers above this bar and probably buyers below, possibly always in long by context. Now we have a possible micro double bottom, and based on the buying pressure today, I think it's always in long by this context. Bear reversal bar on 6, but a small bar, bad entry bar for the bulls. And bulls may use a rally to get out of their losing positions if they took the stop entry. The bears want a second leg down from the sell-off since 3, and the bulls want this to just be paused and 2 legs up after a good buy signal bar on 5. Probably going higher and probably buyers below. Instead, buyers at the close. We have a strong bull bar on 7, and we're probably going higher. I think we're probably always in long, but we're inside of an expanding triangle. Maybe something like this. Something like that. We have a low, a lower low, and a high, and I suspect we'll get another higher high. So 7, probably always in long and probably going higher. Bear reversal bar, good looking sell signal bar on 8, reasonable to get out of longs below this bar. It appears the bears want a lower high. They want to test in a failed breakout test of yesterday's low and also a test of the moving average, and we didn't quite get there. Good sell signal, reasonable context, but too much buying pressure, and we're right in the middle of a tight trading range. So not an ideal short, and therefore we may find buyers down here. We're still inside of a micro channel since the leg up starting on 5, and it looks like we may pull back, and when we do pull back, I expect to find buyers. Outside up on 9, bit of an aggressive bar for the bulls, maybe climactic, but maybe not. It looks proportional with the price action that we've got so far today. I think it's clearly always in long now. We're breaking out to a new high of the day. Now the expanding triangle is a little bit more clear, but this doesn't look like a very good expanding triangle. To me, this looks like a trading range and a trading range breakout on 9. Any bears that sold below 3 and 4 were disappointed with 5 and used 6 to get out with a smaller loss. And then any bears that took the short below 8 are disappointed and trapped now on bar 9, and their stops were ran above the high of 2 or above the high of 8. So we do have trapped bears, but we're not closing very far above these price levels, and if we pull back, that means that traders who sold this high and sold more at the close of 9 were able to make money. So if you're a bull buying the close of 9 with a stop down here, first of all, that's a pretty big bar. That's a 22-point bar, which means the risk is really big. If we start to get a pullback, you have to decide where you're wrong. And we could have a double top with 2, the high close. So therefore it's risky, but probably always in long and probably going higher. It's like 1 pullback, like 2 in an overall trading range, so you got to be careful here. Probably always in long and probably going higher. Small pullback and minimal follow through for the bulls. We are closing beyond the prior bar, and that's good. But we tested the high of 2 and we tested the high of 8. We didn't quite get to the high of 8, so we may still have trapped bears here. And for that reason, I suspect we're going higher. Good follow through for the bulls. Strong bull bar, probably going higher on 11 and 12. Bit of another surprise. Bit of a surprise again on bar 12. Bit of a climactic bar. And this could be a buy vacuum test of some resistance level, possibly the high close here on 74 from the prior day. This was a reasonable buy and a reasonable stop entry, and because it was reasonable and it failed, any bulls that held through this sell-off may look to get out of their losing position with this rally. But there's a problem. This rally is quite strong. Bar 9 and bar 12 look like duplicate bars, and there's a small pause in between. But this is all one big micro channel, and therefore it's a breakout on a higher time frame. And whatever pullback we get, we'll probably find buyers. 4 bars up, first reversal down, should fail. Therefore 12 is a reasonable buy the close bar. It's a breakout and follow through with 11 and 12. And it's a good continuation from the rally starting on 9. But does this look like the start of a bull trend that's going to last all day? Probably not, because 9 and 12 are both really big bars, and that's climactic behavior, which is not sustainable. We're still inside of an overall bearish environment on the higher time frames. We have some sort of bear channel that could look something like this. Probably going higher, but we may need to pull back first. Instead, more follow through on 13. This time, a bit of a climax. We have a prominent tail on 13, and for that reason, we're running the risk of finding profit taking and selling pressure up here. But it's 5 or 6 consecutive bars up, and the first reversal down should be minor. Small pullback, an inside bar, bull bar, and tail. This could be setting up a final flag for the bulls, but clearly always in long and probably still going higher. It looks like we tested support, and that support could be either the stop entry or the close of this bull bar from the rally, or the attempt at a rally from the prior day. Channeling higher 15 and then 16 bear bar, but tail. We may pull back, and I expect the pullback to be brief and minor. Instead, buyers at the close of 16 and rallying higher. Really not an ideal stop entry and really bad buy signal bar on 16, so I suspect we may need to pull back, but good follow through and a strong close on 17 tells me that it's clearly always in long and probably going higher. We also have a small new high of the day on 17. Outside down on 18, but this may be more of a buy the close bar than a sell the close bar because it's an outside bar in a strong bull trend. And for that reason, we reversed up from below 18. Now we have a big, strong bull surprise on 19, and this looks like a lot like what happened on bar 9. So we're inside of a very strong breakout on this chart and on a higher time frame. We have a lot of consecutive bars up, and the first spike break occurred here after bar 18. So if the first leg started at 9 and ended at 14, let's say, a measured move up would take us up here to 60.30. 19, clearly always in long and going higher. Now we're breaking above a major lower high, 54 from the prior day, and closing well above that level. And that tells me that traders that sold this high are stuck into a losing position, and whatever sell-off we get, whatever pullback we get, will probably be shallow and minor because there are trapped sellers here. Small follow through, doji bar on 20, not ideal, but still probably going higher, and then more good follow through on 21. Strong close and probably heading for the high of yesterday, and I suspect we'll get there. Tested that level, broke out far above it, and then pulled back and closing above yesterday's high, and I suspect we're going higher. This is a spike and channel pattern on a smaller time frame, and on this time frame, we're still inside of a spike. So 22, clearly always in long and going higher. More follow through on 23, tough to stay long. 24, smaller body, smaller bar, just like 23, stalling after breaking out of yesterday's high. We could have a potentially failed breakout of yesterday's high, but there's no reason to sell yet, And we have a lot of trapped bears selling above 18, selling above 54 from the prior day, and again selling here at yesterday's high. For that reason, whatever pullback and sell-off we get is probably still going to be minor. More continuation on 25, and then 26 looks like a give-up bar for the bears. If you're a bear and you sold at yesterday's high, thinking that that would trigger a sell, you were trapped into a losing position and forced out of your trade here on bar 26. 26 is also breaking out above a measured move target from the first leg starting down on bar 9. For that reason, we'll probably find some profit taking here. We're breaking out strongly above the higher time frame EMA, the 221 moving average, and I suspect we're going higher. But this bar, 26, is a big bar compared to every other bar in this rally, and it's coming late in this rally. So that's going to attract profit taking. Small pullback and then good follow through. 27, still probably going higher, and eventually we're going to run out of buyers. Starting to pull back on 28, bear bar, closing near its low, but inside bar, probably buyers below this bar. Second bar down, 29, but prominent tail, pulling back, trying to test the moving average, maybe around number 60-20. We're still very far from yesterday's high. We may need to pull back and test that as support before we continue higher. I suspect we'll find buyers at this close or below this bar, and that's why we got bar 30. Strong bull bar, closing above the prior bear bar. Not quite getting to the high close on 27, but I suspect we will. Bear inside bar with a weak close, not ideal for the bulls. We may find profit taking above these bars. Good follow through, 32, bull bar closing on its high, but smaller bar and channeling higher. More follow through, 33, but failing to close above the high of day, and a prominent tail. It's a doji bar, and that tells you that bulls may be taking profits up here. Near outside bar, bull bar, and doji bar, channeling higher, and then more follow through, but inside bar on 35. This is telling you that we're losing bull momentum, and we may be running out of buyers. So that for that reason, reasonable to take profits on whatever acceleration bar we get to the upside, like 36 here. Probably going higher, but reasonable to expect profit taking soon. We're still inside of a strong breakout on a higher time frame, and this is what it looks like on our time frame. Sellers at the close of 36, new high of the day, attracted profit taking, and I suspect we're going to go lower. We do have a prominent tail, so probably buyers at this close and below this bar for another attempt at a leg up, but probably we're forming some sort of trading range up here. Buyers at the close, reversing up on 38, maybe going higher, but possibly profit taking above this bar, and instead profit taking at the close, 39. Inside bar, probably another bar up for the bulls, but even then I expect profit taking in a trading range up here. Buyers below 39, trying to get another leg up and channeling higher, 41, but outside down, 42. Small tight trading range, some sort of a triangle, and we may get the breakout to the downside. Breakout, reversal, and follow through, 42, 43 for the bears, but below the low close, 35, and whatever bears sold to close here may be disappointed with this rally and look to get out. Therefore, this may be more of a buy the close bar and buy below bar than sell the close and sell above. But channeling lower, smaller body, smaller bar, testing the moving average, and round number 60-30, where we found buyers before. Again, smaller body, smaller bar, 45, but 4 consecutive bars down. Probably whatever reversal up we get will just form a trading range and will continue to go sideways. Bit of a climax on 46, breaking out to the downside and testing the 221 moving average. We're also trying to test the low of the most recent buy climax, 26, but we didn't quite get there, and I suspect we will. We have 5 consecutive bars down, 6 consecutive bars down, this time testing the low of the most recent buy climax on 26, closing below the higher time frame moving average, but I still suspect the best the bears will be able to get here is a trading range. We have too much buying pressure, and we're too far up. If you look at the day as a whole, from the low of the day to the high of the day, we've gone 150 points, and that's a whole lot of points. In fact, that's 2.5%, which is incredibly unusual. And for that reason, there's going to be buyers on whatever pullback we get. So probably buyers at this close and scaling into longs below this bar. But probably by context, always in short, it's a bigger second leg down, and therefore it could be the first leg down. We'll probably start to rally, but whatever rally we get, I suspect we're going to find sellers around the midpoint of this sell-off and at the high close around 40, 241 or 36. Channeling lower 48, but buyers at the close. We have a pause bar, a near inside bar for the bulls. Weak close, probably sellers above this bar. No surprise. Bar 50, nearly outside down, and weak close. We may find buyers down here, and this could be forming the bottom of a trading range. 51, bad follow through, and 52, better follow through, but smaller bar. Testing and closing below the low close on 48. Outside up on 53, strong bull bar, probably going higher, probably back to always in long, but we need follow through. And so far, the follow through is bad. 54, outside down, nearly. We failed to close and break out below 53, but I suspect we will. But whatever breakout we get will probably still be minor, and we'll still probably be finding buyers. 55, small doji bar, I suspect buyers below. For that reason, 56 is reversing up below 55. We have a bull bar. It's a reasonable signal bar for a second entry long at the bottom of the trading range, but there's no clear bottom yet, although it does appear that we're running out of bearish momentum here, so reasonable stop entry. It looks like it triggered, and we have a bad entry bar for the bulls, therefore we may see a give up bar on 58. 57, I suspect will go more sideways. Instead, more follow through for the bulls on 58. Good close, but small bar, sustainable. Small tight trading range, and more follow through on 59. Deep pullback into 58, and then testing the moving average and selling off briefly into the close. I suspect we'll still go higher, but we're getting close to where bulls were trapped buying close of 53, and we're also at about the midpoint of 54 where we could find more selling pressure. Instead, we're getting a bull breakout, bar 60, breaking out above both moving averages and the high close, but failing to test the high of 54 and closing above. So we could find sellers up here, but we have 5 consecutive bars up and not too much overlap, and that tells you that whatever bears are selling here are probably trapped. So whatever reversal down we get will probably be minor. Good follow through 61 bull bar, but then bear reversal bar on 62, closing on its low. We're testing the breakout point, 54 high, and I suspect we're going to go a little bit lower, but probably buyers down here for a second leg up from the rally starting on 56. Channeling lower 63 and 3-bar micro channel 64. Probably buyers somewhere down here, but it looks like we're inside of a trading range. 4 consecutive bars down and a doji bar on 65. Testing the bad buy signal bar 55, 57, depending on how you look at it. And finding buyers into the close of the bar. I suspect we'll go a little bit lower, but probably buyers down here. Inside bar and then channeling higher 67, prominent tail, probably sellers above and buyers below. 68, bear bar, and then follow through 69, 2 legs down in an overall trading range, right around the buy signal bar highs, maybe going lower, but probably buyers below. Channeling lower 70, 71, and then a climactic bear breakout with a prominent tail on 71. We made a new low. We're in some sort of bear channel or trading range, and I suspect we're near the bottom. 72, sellers above 71, reversing down, strong bear reversal bar, but bad context, bottom of a trading range. Then it looks like a give up bar on 73. We broke below yesterday's high, and I suspect we'll go lower. Whatever bulls we're buying through here, we're disappointed with all of the selling pressure, and it looks like they're giving up on their positions here on bar 73. But bad follow through, buyers at the close of this bar. If we look at the day as a whole and we draw, we'll start from the rally that started on 9 and project that up, we're not even at the midpoint of the rally, and we're finding buyers here on this strong bear bar. It could be the end of a big 2-legged move down in an overall trading range. Looking to the left, I'm trying to see what we've tested. I don't see an obvious test magnet here, so this could be just a give up bar for disappointed bulls. 74, maybe going higher, but possibly sellers above, and 75, weak follow through for the bull bar, so possibly going lower. Channeling higher 76, but prominent tail, and then a give up bar 77. Prominent tail testing the low close, failing to make a new low. We could have an attempt at a double bottom, but I suspect more down. Buyers below 77, reversing up on 78, creating a bull bar. probably going higher, but maybe sellers above. Good follow through, but climactic. Bit of an expanding triangle happening here, so maybe sellers up here. And that's why we got 80. Strong bar, probably going lower, but I expect disappointment because we're in a trading range, and that's why we got 81. Overall, very interesting day. Incredibly strong buy climax in the first part of the day. And then some sort of bear channel in trading range at the end of the day. So interesting day overall. Thanks for watching.